Hello world, I'm Jesse from Chef Secure. In the last recipe, you learned the most basic of XSS attacks, injecting script tags. This only works in the most basic scenarios and may not work even when a web page is still vulnerable. So in this recipe, I'm gonna show you how to unbasicify your payload. The ingredients for this recipe are HTML attributes, HTML tags, and JavaScript functions. How does your browser know where to find images to load? HTML attributes. What about where links go? HTML attributes. How about CSS styles? HTML attributes, mostly. HTML attributes modify or give data to an HTML tag, but sometimes you can't trust this data because it comes from people like you. Go to the attribute breakout example for this recipe below. On the bottom, there's the word hover, so if you hover your cursor over it, you'll see something that says change me. So let's try typing something in the input box. Click the update button, and then hover again. You'll see that it changed. So right-click on hover, select the inspect option. Within the opening tag of this h1 element, you see two attributes, class and title. The title attribute of the h1 element was updated with our input. You see how the attributes are set using a name, an equal sign, and a quoted value? This is how you set attributes. These values can actually be single quoted, double quoted, or even unquoted, as long as there aren't any space characters, so that your browser knows where the value ends and a new attribute begins. Hey, listen, this is something very important. To put it another way, as an attacker, this means you can break out of attributes using either single quotes, double quotes, or space characters depending on how the attribute is set. Keep this in mind for later. So what happens when we try injecting our basic payload from last recipe? See for yourself. Type in the basic payload from last recipe using your opening script tag, an alert, and then a closing script tag. Click the update button and absolutely nothing happens. We need to rethink our payload so it works in both the normal content part of elements as well as within attributes. Here we go. Start off with a closing quote to break out of the attribute. Now, where are we? Inside the tag still. So we need to close out that tag with a greater than symbol. Now you already know what to do here. Just type in your basic script with an alert and close your script tag, click the update button, and there you go. Since you closed the tag early, there are still some characters left over, but it doesn't really matter since you got your script to execute. Now for extra challenge, feel free to find a way to hide these remaining characters so that if this were a real attack, it wouldn't be looking so sketchy right now. Also, as I said earlier, this can work whether you're injecting into attributes like we just did or into the content of HTML elements. So if you'd like to, feel free to go back to the example from the last recipe and try it out there if you don't believe me or you think I'm a liar. Hey, I'm gonna break your payload again. Go to the text area breakout example for this recipe below and try out your new payload. We're now injecting inside a text area, which is just a large area where text goes. Who'd have thunk? In web development, we use text areas all over the place to allow multi-line input, such as emails or status updates. But elements like text areas are unique in that they handle content differently than other elements. See for yourself, type in your new payload. Start with a double quote, followed by a greater than symbol. Then enter your basic payload with script, alert, close script, click the update button, and it doesn't work. So I want you to fix this payload now using the same thought process you did when breaking out of attributes earlier. Ready? Go. Did you get it? All you gotta do is close out the text area tag. So close text area, followed by script, alert, close script, click the update button, and you have a successful attack. There's going to be a remaining closing text area tag after this, but your lazy browser doesn't care, so neither do attackers.